last night in a marathon attack on the president's mass deportations, canceled federal programs and efforts to send the National Guard into U.S. cities.
This is an incredible threat to our nation, to the entire vision of our Constitution.
It's day 22 of the government shutdown. House Speaker Mike Johnson chides Democrats.
They have now voted, collectively, Democrats in Congress have voted 12 times to keep the government closed down.
And Democrats say President Trump is not willing to hear them out. The man accused of plotting to shoot up the busiest airport in the world is facing a federal case now. CBS's Skylar Henry is at the Atlanta airport.
Billy Joe Cagle is already in federal custody. We should point out that the feds filed charges late last night. We were able to get our hands on the official complaint where they walked through with a bit more granular details the matters of their charges.
And Cagle's family gave police a heads up about his plan. On the Health Watch, more than 100 measles cases have now been reported in Utah and Arizona. Infectious disease expert Dr. William Schaffner.
This is the most contagious virus we know, and when it's introduced into a population, it will spread rapidly among children, among their schoolmates and playmates.
President Trump has brushed off growing criticism over the new demolition work at the White House for a ballroom. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi.
There is backlash, but there isn't really a legal mechanism to stop this demolition from happening of the east wing of the White House as part of the proposal, the $250 million proposal to build this ballroom and now renovate the East Room.
Well, CBS's Michael Wallace tells us a Senate candidate from Maine indicates he's covered a tattoo to no longer reflect an image widely seen as a Nazi symbol.
Democrat Graham Plattner, who is running for longtime Republican Senator Susan Collins' seat, says he got the skull and crossbones tattoo on his chest when he was in his 20s in 2007 while serving in the Marine Corps. He says he was unaware until recently that the image is associated with Nazi police. Plattner recently apologized for his online statements that dismiss sexual assaults in the military, question the tipping habits of black people, and criticize rural Americans and police officers.
The NFL is moving its Pro Bowl activities, including a flag football game, to Super Bowl week, 5 days before the big game this coming February. Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 130 points. NASDAQ is down 180. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A Good Samaritan nearly killed after giving a family a ride. The story coming up at first. KIRO Newsradio traffic. I-90 is closed westbound near Cleellum after an oversized truck driving under an overpass struck it, damaging it. It's significant. You will be detoured. In the Fife area, a crash is blocking 2 lanes on I-5 southbound near Porter Way. You're backed up from just above the curve to State Route 161. And be aware there is fog, significant fog in parts of the Puget Sound region this morning. Traffic brought to you by the KIRO Radio Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Investigators now say it was a Good Samaritan who offered a couple and their kids a ride in his van and was nearly killed for his generosity. KIRO 7 TV's Allison Amoy reports.
According to investigators, the couple and their 7 children were walking on a dark road Sunday night after their truck got stuck, and that's when Melvin Swaggerty spotted them on his DoorDash route, and he offered them a ride. Shortly after, he was stabbed multiple times, including in his neck, and he fell out of the car bleeding heavily. Prosecutors say the suspects then took off in his car. They were later spotted in Kitsap County in that same car with all their kids in tow.
The children are in protective custody while their parents remain behind bars. A Seattle woman has been charged with first-degree murder in the stabbing death of her 4-year-old son at an apartment in the Roosevelt neighborhood last week. Officers found the boy unconscious when they responded to reports that the 45-year-old woman was suffering a potential mental health crisis. She's now being held on $5 million bail. Auburn police are investigating after Halloween displays in multiple homes in Auburn were destroyed. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibau reports.
Cameras caught a vandalism spree across Auburn. Surveillance video captures teens storming a porch, smashing pumpkins. 4 miles away, what appears to be the same group toppling a 12-foot skeleton. Then this, another inflatable slashed.
I couldn't comprehend what would make them want to do that, and to so many in one night.
Auburn police says they're investigating multiple vandalism reports.
Auburn police are reviewing security footage. The Everett City Council plans to vote tonight on whether to renew a law meant to deter homeless camps. The ordinance bans sitting or lying down in parts of the downtown and giving out food and supplies without a permit. Critics say it hurts the homeless. Supporters say it encourages them to use shelters and other homeless services. The Seattle City Council has a little more money to work with than previously thought. The city's Jan Duras presented the October forecast this week.
In general, the forecast reflects that slightly improved outlook, increases revenues, not dramatically.
He says the city will have an additional $12 million, which is a small fraction of the city's general fund. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. An increasing chance of showers today with highs around 60. It is 46 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning, y'all. Happy Wednesday, October 22nd. You know the deal. If you're new to the show, appreciate you being here. Where you been, though? But if you always come to the show, thank you for being here. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning.
I like that plaid. I like it when you wear that. That's nice.
I'm fully feeling fall. Yeah. I'm fully feeling the big dark coming on. I felt it this morning driving in. Yeah, how about you? We haven't even fallen back yet.
No.
With our 1 hour.
Is that this weekend?
When is that?
Or next weekend?
I think
November
we got it.
2nd.
Yeah, it's not quite. It's
so the next weekend.
Right before election.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, hey, coming up at 9:30,
okay.
Are the cities of Everett and Tacoma tackling homelessness, or are they just pushing it out of sight? We'll have a discussion about that. As always, we invite you to join us on our KIRO News Radio text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Good morning to all of you also watching our show on YouTube. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe. Also, follow us on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, if you miss any part of our show, you can always catch us on our podcast.
All right, Ursula, it's time to get the people with the wow. That's the top stories of the day, brought to you by Badfitter Northwest.
If you buy your own health insurance through the state exchange, brace yourself. Expect to pay a whole lot more next year. That is because a pandemic-era subsidy is set to expire at the end of this year unless Congress acts. These credits work like discounts for middle-income households who don't get insurance through an employer or from public programs like Medicare. Democratic Congresswoman Susan DelBene is calling on House Republicans to come back to D.C. and negotiate to reopen the government and extend those credits.
People who buy their health care on the exchange are going to see skyrocketing premiums.
What about Republicans who say this is a course correction?
I don't think they even know what they're doing.
Republican Congressman Michael Baumgartner of Spokane spoke with KOMO 4 News' Chris Daniels. He says now is not the time for negotiations.
Obviously, healthcare is a major part of what we spend the government's budget on. It's 20% of the American economy. There's always time for discussions of healthcare, but we're not going to do it as part of a quid pro quo for ending a government shutdown.
So the Seattle Times is reporting that more than 216,000 people in our state in Washington qualify for those credits. On average, they save about $1,300 a year on premiums. So if Congress lets the credits lapse, about 80,000 people in our state are expected to just drop their coverage altogether. And the state's exchange director says there is still time for Congress to act. If lawmakers approve an extension, those savings could be reinstated quickly. But as you've been seeing, there's no rush right now to end this government shutdown.
Because Donald Trump just said as recently as yesterday, he is not willing, he does not want to negotiate until they come to the table and open up the government back up. That's just the only way. Like the Democrats, they have to concede, open up, and then negotiate. And so it feels and seems like everything, Ursula, in your top stories, everything that we talk about lately, everything over the last 9, almost 10 months, everything is FAFO. Mess around and find out is what was happening. And I don't understand why we have to get to that point. Because when you get to that point, it's too late. When you start talking about, Obamacare, I don't like Obamacare. Is there an alternative to Obamacare?
Not yet.
Not yet. So there still isn't. So all of this talk about not liking this, but there's no plan. And unfortunately, the people in this country, and again, watch how I do this. This is not a Republican or Democrat thing. The people in this country that will suffer the most are the people that cannot afford that added expense. Or like you said, there will be some altogether that will be like, hey, we'll just be done away with health care.
I should point out, too, that if federal funding isn't restored, SNAP food benefits will stop in Washington after they said, I think there's just a little bit more money, but I think at the end of this month, they will stop. Employees will be laid off. But as you mentioned, no one in the other Washington is willing to blink first. Republicans are blaming Democrats for refusing to pass a short-term funding bill unless it includes more money for these healthcare subsidies. Democrats argue that the Republicans are the ones who are controlling Congress right now, and they could have negotiated this sooner instead of pushing a bill that actually cuts programs. Mm-hmm. And we haven't felt the effect of those yet. And just a reminder, Republicans have been threatening to scrap or get a revamp of the Affordable Care Act, something that our current president promised would happen during his campaign.
What we will do is we're looking at different plans. If we can come up with a plan that's going to cost our people, our population, less money and be better health care than Obamacare, then I would absolutely do it. But until then, I'd run it as good as it can be run.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now.
So he is president. There's still no plan. But I've got to just say, we need less bickering from both sides, and we need adults in the room who are willing to do something reasonable. They need to get back to negotiate, because until that happens, people losing paychecks, people paying higher health premiums, how is that going to help anything? Mm-hmm. I mean, they're the ones, as you mentioned, who are actually paying the price.
Right. Before we move on, you mentioned SNAP. And this is because I think that when people hear you say, which is 8-9 days, it's going to be, it'll be out of money.
Yes.
And I know that there are some people that's like, well, I'm not on SNAP, so I'm fine. And I want to really remind everyone how this impacts us all. So when you start thinking about SNAP, every $1 in SNAP creates up to $1.80 in local economic activities. So when you have a population of people that cannot buy groceries, then the grocery stores lose customers. When grocery stores lose customers, people lose jobs. When people lose jobs, that's our community. Those are our brothers and sisters. We all lose. Now let's take Walmart for an example. Do I think Walmart really cares about people could potentially go hungry with SNAP? I don't know. That's subjective. However, I do think it is good business for Walmart to act if this goes on another 8 to 9 days. Those right now with SNAP, every $1 of SNAP that is spent goes to Walmart. All of that money. So it's not like SNAP money. I
didn't know that one.
It's not like SNAP money stays in an account. It's not like you know what? I'm going to save this SNAP money. No. The SNAP, as soon as it gets there every month, every $1 out of 4 goes right to Walmart. So if and when this continues and SNAP is, hey, no more funding, this is going to be a huge impact, which is why I think, some of the billionaires that stood there on January 20th behind Donald Trump, this is why I also believe that some of the EBT that can't be used, this will hurt their bottom line. So hopefully they step up.
There are new concerns this morning that federal immigration agents may be tapping into local police databases to get license plate information collected across our state. And this is raising huge questions about the privacy of our data and whether one city, even Auburn, knew how to use this technology. Our reporter Luke Ducey has been looking into this, and he's here live with more.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. So this is according to a brand new report from the University of Washington's Center for Human Rights. At least 8 local agencies in our state, according to their report, provided so-called front door access and openly shared data from their flock license plate reader networks with U.S. Border Patrol and ICE to help federal agents track down illegal immigrants. And they did it in the face of a state law that prohibits local agencies from helping enforce federal immigration laws. Now, the report also says on the flip side, it includes claims that federal agents have been using technology to get backdoor access to camera data. Researchers claim they found Border Patrol went into the camera networks of at least 10 other police departments that never gave them permission, including the Renton Police Department from May through August. But when we talk about these agencies, whether they knew they were sharing data or not, at least one of those agencies is pushing back, Auburn, although it seems they may not have fully understood how the technology worked. So yesterday, the city of Auburn and Mayor Nancy Backus said in a statement that once they learned about Flock's national lookup feature that gave access through a shared national network, they immediately toggled that switch off. So it wasn't like an opt-in, it was an opt-out, right?
So is that easy of a solution?
It was an opt-out.
Just do a toggle switch?
Yeah. So here are the questions that it really raises, this report. Just kind of fascinating. When it comes to these agencies, they either knew, which raises the question about the strength of Washington state law, right? If local agencies are not following state law that says you can't do this, or they didn't know, but perhaps the argument is they should have known they were sharing data, raising the question about how transparent flock technology really is, if we're just talking about a toggle switch, and whether police can fully control who sees their data.
So the Auburn police chief says they've disabled that national lookup feature. How are other cities responding to this? Renton says they didn't say okay, but it's still happening.
According to the report, Renton, we don't know if they have pushed back or taken steps to also disable or to take steps to these are backdoor searches according to the report. We don't know what their response is, but according to the report, federal agents are going in and grabbing information despite certain agencies like Renton saying, can't do that. We're not going to take part in this.
Now, Gee, when you hear this, how do you feel? Because you and I have both been in favor of expansion of these kinds of cameras.
Yeah. This is just one of those things where you and I both agree on something for a certain reason.
Yes.
Never thinking that it would be used the way that it's being used in the way that we are seeing ICE. And just so we're clear, I think that I'll speak for myself. I think I would still have the same opinion if we did not see ICE go about the way that they're doing things throughout the country. Right? If there was a thing where, hey, just so you all know, they've ramped up some enforcement on immigration and all those things, okay. But the way that this is being handled right now, this is gross, the way it's being handled. So, yeah, it makes me give pause.
Luke, thank you. Appreciate your reporting on this.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Seattle police officers are about to get a major pay bump. A new 4-year contract between the city and the Police Officers Guild is reportedly going to raise starting pay for new recruits to about $118,000 a year, which is a 13% jump from their current levels and about a 40% increase since 2021. This is reporting from Publicola. Officers are going to get retroactive raises for 2024 and this year with additional boosts through 2027. So once this full deal takes effect, a rookie with about a year and a half on the job will be earning around $132,000. That's not counting overtime or bonuses. Mayor Bruce Harrell is expected to announce this agreement soon, just as voters are going to decide whether to give him another term. The deal also expands the city's care team. Those are those civilian crisis responders who handle some of the 911 calls where police officers are not present. And supporters say these raises will help attract and retain officers in one of the country's most expensive cities. But there are critics who say, don't we have a big fat budget deficit in the city of Seattle? It's expected to hit hundreds of millions of dollars by 2027. What do you think?
Give them their dang old money. That's what I think. I'm not against the police. I'm not in 2025. I'm not against nobody making more money. And we're talking about the city of Seattle. When you rank different places to be police officers in the state, I'd argue when it comes to activity, right, I would say that the city of Seattle, right, has a lot of activity. It's not a cush job at all. It's very complex and very difficult. I'm not going to be against that at all. So to make it $124,000, I'm not going to ever be against the working class because I look at police officers as the working class, right? Okay, great. I'm glad they got their money. I hope we can get some other sectors that have money as well. So, no, I'm not against this.
Yeah, I'm not either. According to their websites, I looked at the city of Kent, Auburn, Bellevue, Puyallup PD. They also offer starting salaries near or above $100,000 a year. So considering that Seattle is one of the most expensive cities to live in, and as someone who does live here, I would like officers to actually be able to live in the city where they work. So I think you do have to pay more. And since 2020, as we've been reporting here on our show, SPD has lost more than 600 officers. They've hired about 250, so that's still a net drop of about 350, and having the highest starting salary would be one of the ways that you could attract good candidates. So, but if you disagree with us, text us 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. If you lower the blood alcohol limit for drivers, fewer people will die. That message now from Washington State Patrol Chief John Batiste. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more on efforts to lower our state's BAC limit from 0.08 to 0.05.
It is estimated the change could save more than 1,700 lives each year and lower fatality crashes by more than 11%. Currently, Utah is the only state with a 0.05 limit. Chief Batiste says it's time for Washington and the rest of the country to follow Utah's lead.
We're one of the only industrialized nations in the world who really doesn't operate at an 05 level.
According to the Washington Traffic Safety Commission, more than half of all fatal crashes in Washington involve driver impairment by drugs and or alcohol. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Of course, you know this is not the first time we're bringing up this topic.
Shout out Senator John Lovett.
Yes.
John Lovett, if you're listening, man, we love you, brother, because John Lovett has been trying to tell the world consistently every single year, but he keeps getting defeated.
Yes, and he's a former State Patrol trooper.
Absolutely. These are people that see this stuff all the time. Ursula, what you folding your arms for and got that smirk on your face? Why every single time that this topic comes up?
Because I know you're passionate about it.
Well, I just don't. Why do we lose?
Why do we lose?
Why do we lose?
Because we have an American drinking culture, I mean, you talk about it all the time, how drinking is much more acceptable. We also have a very strong hospitality lobby. We also have a very strong alcohol lobby.
Because this is also about making it easier to prosecute DUIs, not about lowering the number of DUIs that happen. If you look at the Utah bill, what happened there, passed in 2019, they've had an increase in drunk driving fatalities since that time. They had a 1-year decrease, and it's increased ever since.
Okay, where are those facts from?
National Transportation Safety Board in the Salt Lake Tribune.
Really? Okay, well, France, Spain, Denmark, Australia, Argentina, Portugal, South Africa, they all have 0.05 as their BAC level.
I'm not even. Let me tell you something. When you get ready to go out, you go out, Ursula, you go out on town. You don't drink. I don't drink right now, you know what I'm saying? We get ready to go out. And so when you go out, there's this whole idea, right? In some people's minds, I remember we had somebody on our show to say, well, I can have 2 drinks. That's what a lot of people think. Or I can have a drink and a half. That's what they think they can have.
Yeah, that's what they said, glass and a half of wine.
Yeah, they think they can have that. So when it's 0.08, you kind of think that. Even though that same drink and a half and you're only a 0.05 and you go and you hit someone, you're liable. Like, it doesn't matter about the 0.08. You're liable. You can have a big lawsuit on your head for that. Now, if it's 0.05, when you go out, guess what you'll say? Well, I'm driving. I'm not going to drink. And that should be always it. You should never, if you go out, you shouldn't have a drink.
It's not stopping you from drinking. It's just stopping you from having a drink, then getting behind the wheel. Here's the other thing. There's Uber. There's rideshare. It's not hard.
Come on now.
Okay, I know people are going to disagree with us.
Yeah, for sure.
973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
All right, coming up next, city of Tacoma and Everett. They are expanding the camping ban. Well, let's talk about how this is just. Let's see what you think about it next. Gee and Ursula.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
"Why don't you get your kid off the phone?"
You can do that now. No, I'm not there yet. Getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendonitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee.
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
What's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price during Olympic Hot Tub's great rebate event. Save up to $4,500 on the best hot tub you can own. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The so-called Spokane South Hill rapist now lives just blocks away from an elementary school in Federal Way. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson says Kevin Coe has been moved a couple of times now.
He was released earlier this month after the state said he no longer met its civil commitment standards. First, he was going to move to Federal Way. Community pushback there meant he moved to Auburn, but that house was on Muckleshoot tribal land. The tribe trespassed him, and now he is back in Federal Way.
Coe is 78 and in failing health. The Federal Way mayor says he's confident Coe is not a serious public safety risk. I-90 is closed this morning westbound near Cle Elum after an oversized truck driving under an overpass struck it. State Trooper Jeremy Weber.
Apparently, he was supposed to take that exit 80 to go around the bridge and didn't, and caused massive damage.
Photos on mynorthwest.com show the rebar pulled out of the concrete like tendons ripped from bone. This is the third overpass or bridge hit by a trucker recently. In September, a dump truck driver was cited after damaging the State Route 167 bridge near Pacific. Repairs are not expected to be done until next year. And in August, a trucker hit the White River Bridge on State Route 410. It has now reopened. President Trump is being urged to stop work on his White House ballroom after photos showed heavy equipment tearing chunks out of the East Wing. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
He's using private funds to do it. How in the world could they oppose that? The only logical reason is because they have Trump derangement syndrome.
But the nonprofit National Trust for Historic Preservation is asking for the pause until a review of the ballroom plans is completed. This is day 22 of the federal government shutdown. And if you're a federal worker who's been sent home without pay, you can apply for jobless benefits through Washington State. But if you're considered an essential worker like an air traffic controller or a member of the military, take note.
For the folks that are going to work and working without pay, they won't be eligible for unemployment insurance because they're working, even though they're not getting paid.
Donna Mack with the Employment Security Department says there are other resources available. The state is holding a webinar tomorrow. We're putting a link to that on our website, mynorthwest.com. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 386 points. NASDAQ is off 349. KIRO News Radio traffic. Again, I-90 is closed westbound near Cle Elum after an oversized truck damaged an overpass. You will be detoured there. In the Fife area, the crash has been cleared from I-5 southbound near Porter Way. Your backup is disappearing. And travel time Federal Way to Tacoma is only about a minute behind schedule. Watch out for lingering patches of fog out there. Traffic brought to you by ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss and skin tightening solution for men and women, offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue, prosculpt.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. An increasing chance of showers today with highs around 60. It's 47 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday to all of you. A couple of our listeners texted in and said, ooh, they love it that it's getting darker, getting cooler. They're kind of ready for the big change.
I'm with them.
I
love it.
Okay, we're going to talk about our homelessness crisis because a couple of cities are trying to do a few things, and I'd like to get your thoughts on this because right now the city of Tacoma is going to tighten its camping ban again, with the city council voting last night to expand the city's existing restrictions on where people can put up their tents or store their belongings in public spaces. The ordinance, which originally passed in 2022, already bans camping near schools, daycares, and shelters. But now this new update will add 2-block buffer zones around parks, playgrounds, and libraries. So unsanctioned encampments will have to move even further away from public gathering spots. Tacoma City Council member John Hines says this is about addressing health and safety concerns, but advocates for the homeless argue that the city's approach is only pushing people around and not solving homelessness. And in case you haven't been tracking this, the homeless population in Tacoma went from about 2,600 people to close to 3,000 this year. So it is growing. And then in Everett, the city council is now considering extending its no sit, no lie ordinance, which makes it illegal for people to sit or lie down in large parts of the city's downtown core. It also prohibits handing out food or supplies to people in those areas if you don't have a permit. And the measure was first passed to address concerns about crime and drug activity and basically safety near shelters and businesses. But again, now critics are saying it's punishing the people with nowhere else to go. And at the same time, the city wants to expand its stay out of drug area zones or SODA zones to include a stretch of Colby Avenue, which is one of the main streets where there's been a big spike in overdoses and drug arrests.
So you have asked little Tommy to go in his room and clean it. Take care of the room, and then you will be able to go out and go outside and play. Tommy goes inside of his room and takes all of the stuff and throws it in a closet. Tommy comes out, and you go and you look at the room. The room is now clean because you don't, watch this, you don't see it anymore. So it appears to be the problem to be solved. And then someone who is living in the closet says, hey, wait a minute. I live in this closet. Tommy brought all of the stuff that was in the room and put it in the closet. And so then the people in the closet start to be upset. So then Tommy has to go in there and take it all out of the closet and then put it up under the bed. And then the people under the bed are like, hey, wait a minute. And then Tommy has to go and get all this stuff under the bed, and then he has to go and put it. The whole point is Tommy never cleans the room. And the problem that we have with Tacoma and Everett and every other place that just wants to push our people around, notice I said our people, because we still can't understand this whole them and us. And we think that those people, we say those people, or the people that are unhoused, that's us. That's all of us. And also what we have a continuation of is that we don't ever take care of what is happening. Just moving around. So in Tacoma or in Everett, there's going to be neighborhoods where the unhoused never were, but they're going to be coming to your area because of the expansion of this. The crisis doesn't get taken care of. It just gets spread around so you don't see.
And to that end, we always talk about shelter capacity when we talk about the homelessness crisis. And right now in the city of Tacoma, shelter capacity is actually dropping. So there are 860 shelter beds right now available. That is a decrease from 1,100 at the beginning of the year. Several shelters have had to close because they've just run out of money. Again, I told you the homeless population has gone to about 3,000 this year. You have 860 shelter beds, and you want to keep moving people around. And mind you, I understand, like if you are a business, especially if the unhoused population is also, let's say, drug addicted. I understand the feeling of, or if you are at a school that you don't want, you would be worried about your safety and public safety. And I totally get that.
I do too.
But before you move them or expand these buffer zones, what are you doing in terms of increasing shelter capacity or helping end the cycle of homelessness?
Right. And I think to end, so the cycle that everyone and that we all want to end, the problem is that we are addressing this issue too late. It needs to happen before they become unhoused.
Yeah. And you've had these conversations, and I wanted to bring this up because you have had conversations. We're talking about this. I'm talking about this from my level, the comfort of my home and my workplace.
Yeah.
You have spent a lot of time in recent months talking to people who are unhoused.
Yeah.
And what kind of themes are coming out of those conversations, or do they have any suggestions as to how we can end that cycle?
Well,
help them end that cycle.
And by the way, thank you for asking me about it, because I have been learning a lot, right? Like you can read up all these policies and everybody's opinions, but when you actually go and you sit down and you sit down at the table with them, have them, the folks that we see, right? The folks that are unhoused, whether it's chronically or on drugs, most of the time, that's people that have been there out here for a while. This isn't someone that just became unhoused 2 weeks ago. You're seeing folks that have been out here. You've seen a system that has ignored this for some time, so they've been out here for a while. At this point, Ursula, some of them say that they never want to go back. No, they do. Some of them say because...
But that's... I'm just going to say that's unacceptable. I mean, that they never want to go back off the street.
Yeah, some of them, yeah. And then some of them do want to, right? And some of them want to, but realize they do have a drug addiction that they cannot, because even if you're housed, we're crystal clear, even having housing, someone listening right now, you can have a drug addiction and it's hard for you to kick that habit even with the roof over your head. Now, imagine not having a roof over your head and being addicted. So it's a very complex issue, and the best way to get a handle on this crisis is prevention. But unfortunately, when you have stories like Amazon wanting to have 600,000 automated robots potentially in the future, they're just talking about it. It's not been passed or anything like that. But when you have these topics and you talk about layoffs, you can guarantee to see an increase in the homelessness crisis that is happening right now. All right, coming up next, we do need to talk. Hopefully we can, Ursula, I went to go look at the topic. I was like, hopefully this could be something easy, but it's not.
No, it's a good question, though.
Should a single dad host a sleepover party for his daughter and her friends? How do you feel about that? Gee Ursula.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 45, Kenny Easley, as pure an athlete as has ever played that free safety position. Saw him the very first day of training camp after his first-round draft choice. All of us veterans looked at each other and said, we've got something here, and we sure did.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer. You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, "Buy low, sell high." There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
Save 30% on select perennials now at Sky Nursery.
I'm Jen, the greenhouse manager at Sky Nursery. For gardeners in the Pacific Northwest, fall is like a second spring. It's a great time to plant. You have so many options that will look gorgeous now and set you up beautifully for next year's springtime garden. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store, no matter the time of year.
Save 30% on select perennials while supplies last. More savings and details at skynursery.com.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Ooh, mate, remember those yodelers who met in the Alps? I wired them euros from the bank, and they sent me their yodels in a can.
You wired money for canned yodels? That is so dumb. Banks are slow, and they hide fees and overseas transfers and exchange rates.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
If you're gonna send money to Europe, just use Wise. Wise is super fast and never hides fees.
Smart.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, listen, today, this 9 o'clock hour, I've been having the news boss open too long. We've been working.
No, I know.
It's too much work.
I love it.
All right. Hopefully we can relax a little bit. Here's what we need to talk about. So check this out. Is it okay for a single dad to host a sleepover for his daughter and her friends? The reason we ask is because there's this TikTok from a single dad. Check this out.
I was trying to throw my daughter a slumber party. No woman lives in the household. It's just me and my daughter. I communicated with one of the mothers, and then I asked, do she feel comfortable having... And as I was talking, she straight up interrupted me. No, I don't feel comfortable with that at all. And like I said, because I'm a man, and she was honest, and I respect her honesty. She was like, yes. And I'm like, that really did make me feel some type of way. And I do understand, like, where women coming from, but it just hurt my feelings to know that me, just as a man, I get labeled as that.
Bruh. Oh, no, go ahead, Ursula. You start.
I'm going to say he does have a point. It's not his fault that he is a single dad. And I can understand where his feelings would be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But unless I know him super well, and I have 1,000% trust in him and know how he runs his household.
Yeah.
If I'm the parent of a daughter, I ain't having my daughter sleepover. And that may sound sexist, but why potentially, have a problem or a suspicion or whatever? And again, that's a bias for sure.
Man and a bear? Yeah, we've been talking about that, haven't we? Look, and you know what? I want to empathize too. I understand how your feelings might be hurt. I get it, right? But it is what it is. Our very own David Burbank, who has a precious little daughter. We asked him about it. And remember, Ursula, you saw his face. We go to ask David Burbank if, about a man, a single father, having a sleepover, would he let his daughter? And the look on his face was, oh, no. So it is. I would say the vast majority of people are kind of have a little bias and will lean towards no. But that's just me.
Jeff and Bonnie Lake texted in and said, this is similar to male teachers in elementary school. Some parents just don't trust a male elementary teacher. Imagine that. Some teachers great with kindergartners, but parents don't want their child in the class because he's male. And I mean, that is a more of an extreme, because in the case of a classroom, there are lots of eyes. There's lots of supervision. The difficulty is, we all know what can happen with the whole sleepover thing. I mean, maybe the answer is just don't do sleepovers.
Right. And look, I'm going to pull a Ursula right here. We know that it goes both ways as far as women can do it. However, let's go sweeping statement here. The vast majority of people that molest, and you look at the numbers, right? It's not women. It's not. It's usually men. Men are usually the perpetrators. So therefore, that's where the unconscious bias comes from.
Okay, what about this though? You wouldn't think about anything if it's a single dad with boys and having boys sleep over, right?
Well, I do. Like I worry about Matthew just as much as I worry about Alice. Whether it is, a dad or a mom. And Gee, you're right. If you look at the numbers, men are like 90 to 95% of prosecutions for child abuse cases. But when you look at self-reported data, when you ask people, hey, have you ever, whatever, 10 to 20% of the cases involve women. That's not statistically insignificant. So whether it's, a male molesting a male or a female molesting a male or female, I think it comes down to not gender, but how well you know and trust the person.
Well, ultimately, yes, I think that's what it is. But we were just reacting to the guy on TikTok who broached the subject with a mom who didn't even let him finish the thing and said, yeah, no, I don't feel comfortable with that.
At least the mom was honest. And by the way, and when I say most, I would say, would you say 8 out of 10 would feel the way the mom, David Burbank, and myself feels about this topic?
Well, let's find out. Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Do you like sleepovers anyway? Or how often, if you're a parent of a young child right now and your kid says, I'd like to go sleep over at Jimmy's house.
Yeah.
How much are you checking out what's going on at Jimmy's house?
Yeah, Ursula, you gave them like 3 questions to answer.
I'm curious, though. Because if I'm honest, did I ever call another parent before my kid slept over at their place? No. I've only had it, and in the reverse, I've only had it happen one time to me.
Yeah. Old school Ernie and Kent says he agree. Ernie says he agrees with the mom and Ursula. Ursula never even gave her opinion. Like this dude, Ernie.
I did give my opinion.
Did you say no?
Yeah, I said I totally understand where the mom's coming from. I wouldn't.
Oh, okay. You did say
if I had a daughter, yeah.
Oh, okay. We're on the same page. How about you, Nick?
I think I'm on the same page with the daughter. Yeah.
All right. Ursula, what's it? Is the 10 o'clock hour going to be a little easier?
You have News Boss open. Coming up in the 10 o'clock hour.
Oh, we go down to Auburn, right? Because there's a situation of where should the South Hill sexual abuser live, right?
Well, he's been released.
I know.
And
where
there's no community wants him.
And where should he live?
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting topic. Hopefully it's not heavy. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Right now at Les Schwab Tires, it's the Fall Tire Fest. Save up to $120 instantly on select sets of 4 all-weather tires. You'll get year-round, all-weather performance, no matter what Mother Nature throws your way. And every tire comes with America's best tire warranty. 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Just another way you'll get more from less. Stop by a store or shop online at leschwab.com. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through October 26th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event, extended to October 26th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership and has the largest selection of Subarus in the entire state. For a limited time, you can get the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek starting at 1.9% financing for 60 months. With over 250 Crosstreks to choose from, you'll find the exact color and trim you're looking for. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 10/31/25.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Steve Kathan. No movement on day 22 of the federal government shutdown, but more furloughed workers going without pay are taking steps to try to make ends meet. CBS's Jared Hill.
At a food bank in Maryland, furloughed federal workers like Melissa Westbrook stocked up as they brace for more days without pay.
We don't know when it's going to end, and I need to pay my bills.
The Senate could take up a bill that would allow some federal workers like active duty military to get paid. A source also confirmed to CBS News that Senate Democrats are working on a bill to pay all federal workers.
Two officials say the U.S. has struck another alleged drug vessel, the 8th, this time on the Pacific side of South America. A judge in Chicago is hearing arguments over an order that blocks the National Guard from deployment in Illinois. CBS's Katrina Kaufman.
It will have sweeping implications. We've seen the administration trying to send the National Guard into cities across the United States. What the Trump administration is arguing here is that the president essentially has unreviewable discretion to determine when to federalize the National Guard.
National Guard deployments and stepped-up ICE raids are just some of the talking points for Oregon Democrat Jeff Merkley, who's been arguing against Trump policies on the floor of the Senate since last night.
Is it okay for mass federal agents to arrest people off the street because of their skin color or their accent? No way. Not in a free America.
Well, CBS's Tracy Wolf tells us a new report finds nations are falling short of promises to limit rising temperatures.
To reach that goal, environmental organizations have broken down the agreement into 45 action items and have been tracking progress in a report called the State of Climate Action. But this year's report found that none of the 45 items are on track to meet goals set for 2030 and beyond. While renewable energy and electric vehicles have made significant increases in global adoption, they need to expand quicker, and deforestation efforts must increase 9 times faster to meet climate targets.
On the Health Watch, Alan Eder of affiliate WTOP reports there's concern on construction sites.
A survey by the construction company Clayco says 64% of 1,000 U.S. construction workers they talked to said they experienced anxiety or depression over the last year. That's up from 54% in a similar study conducted last year. What's just as troubling is that more than a third say they've been discriminated against for seeking help.
There's been criticism, but the NFL is not considering dropping Bad Bunny as the Super Bowl performer. That word from Commissioner Roger Goodell. Wall Street, the Dow is down 220 points. This is CBS News.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
With new measles outbreaks in the U.S., there's a new tool to help you track your exposure. We'll have details on that coming up. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. A crash is blocking a lane on I-90 westbound near Bellevue Way. You are backed up to 148th Avenue Southeast. The bigger problem, though, is east of Snoqualmie Pass. I-90 is closed westbound near Cleellum after an oversized truck significantly damaged an overpass. You will be detoured there. Traffic brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt ductless heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and savings.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A Seattle woman has been charged with first-degree murder in the stabbing death of her 4-year-old son at an apartment in the Roosevelt neighborhood last week. Officers say they found the boy unconscious when they responded to reports that the 45-year-old woman was suffering a potential mental health crisis. She's now being held on $5 million bail. Bail has been set for a father and mother accused of stabbing a DoorDash driver near Sequim and taking off in his van along with their 7 children. Prosecutors say deputies found the vehicle in nearby Kitsap County with a couple and the kids still inside.
2 of them are just sitting on their parents' laps. The other 5 are crammed in the back seat. There's no car seats.
The children weren't properly clothed. Some of them were just in diapers, didn't have shoes on.
The kids are in protective custody while their parents face charges. Investigators now say that victim was simply a Good Samaritan who had offered the family a ride last weekend. Auburn police are searching for the vandals who targeted Halloween displays at multiple homes this week. Resident Rob Goshorn tells KIRO 7 TV the vandals smashed pumpkins, ripped down lights, and slashed inflatable figures.
They came in and just punctured them with a knife. I don't know if it was a razor knife or what kind of knife it was, but slashed them pretty good.
Officers are reviewing security footage. A 21-year-old man is suing the Seattle School District over an incident that happened when he was 13 years old. He says a math teacher punched him in the face and changed his life. That man's lawyers tell the Seattle Times he's seeking $124 million in damages. The Seattle School Board is set to interview the final 2 candidates for superintendent. More on that from KIRO 7 TV's Gary Horkin.
According to the Seattle Times, the state's largest district has narrowed their search down to those 2 candidates who are not yet publicly named. Hypothetically, the candidate could take office as soon as November the 1st. Fred Podesta currently serves as the interim school superintendent.
The State Department of Health has launched a new tool to help you monitor whether you've been exposed to measles. The online tracker in real time shows public places where infected individuals may have spread the virus, and that includes the latest confirmed case at SeaTac Airport on Monday. So far this year, the state's confirmed 11 measles cases, mostly linked to international travel. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. An increasing chance of showers today with highs around 60. It's 47 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday, October 22nd. If you're new to the show, thank you for being here. If you always a part of the show, thank you for always coming back. Ursula, what kind of 10 o'clock hour are we going to have?
Oh, we are going to have a meaty one, but we're going to have some fun as well.
Okay.
My favorite kind of hours.
Yeah.
Get a good mix in there. Coming up at 10:30, here's my question for all of you. Are you the type of person who, at the end of the year, always has vacation time left over that you just have to give up? Or are you the person?
Me so mad.
Are you the person who takes all your vacation time and then you're in a deficit?
That's my wife. My wife's always just casually throwing out like, "Oh my gosh, I got so much vacation left," and she doesn't take vacation.
Well, she's not alone because. There's a new survey that says 1 in 4 workers say they didn't take a single vacation day in the last year. Who are these people?
People that work from home.
Okay, if you're one of those, not work from home, but you haven't taken a single vacation day in the last year, why?
Yeah.
Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. You can always weigh in on the Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page, or if you're watching us on YouTube, can't comment there just yet, but we appreciate you being part of the show. How's that?
What's new at 10?
Ursula, I'm telling you, I love today's Ursula.
Like anything's coming out of my mouth. Is that what you say? No holds barred?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about convicted rapist Kevin Coe. He was known as the South Hill Rapist, and he was released from McNeil Island earlier this year and has been having trouble finding a place to stay. He's now been kicked off Muckleshoot tribal land. He is now registered to live at a group home in Federal Way, less than 500 feet from an elementary school. He has changed addresses 3 times since his release, and every single time he moves, it has sparked outrage from neighbors and city officials who say they weren't notified in advance. Now, Federal Way's mayor, Jim Farrell, says the city has no say in this matter, but calls it deeply concerning that now he is living so close to a school, and he's urging lawmakers to re-examine state laws that allow level 3 sex offenders to live near children. So this guy, Kevin Coe, has to stay as a registered sex offender for life. He's largely wheelchair bound now. I believe he's in his 70s. But when he was placed in an adult family home near Auburn, the mayor there, Nancy Backus, was outraged. And she told the Jake and Spike show that her city had to task a dedicated police officer to monitor all of his movements.
I have had a lot of, not in my neighborhood, not in my town. What are you doing to make sure that we're safe? And I can assure you that we're doing everything we possibly can. Sadly, that means we take 2 officers or an officer, and we're continually checking on his location. And that's taking an officer off the street for other opportunities, right, to ensure the safety of our community. It's beyond fathoming how this could happen.
Well, first of all, the fact that we have the Auburn mayor on top of this, right? And she even talks about it. She says in a statement, through the quick, coordinated work of the Auburn Police Department, the Muckleshoot Indian tribe of Indians, and engaged members of the community. She talked about how Mr. Coe has since been removed from Auburn residence and is no longer living there. And she talked about the due diligence. So she's frustrated. The mayor's frustrated. I mean, one of her quotes was that she was absolutely livid. So, Ursula, when you have the mayor making sure that she is on top of anyone that could be in the community causing harm, that is what you want to hear, and that's what you want to see. Now, as for this person, hey, it's rough. There's not a lot of people that really want someone who has a past of this living in their neighborhood, right? There are, especially if you're going to have to register. You can't duck and hide from registering at all. You need to make sure you're up to par and up to date on those things. So it's rough, Ursula.
Well, okay, just for people who don't know who the South Hills rapist is, he is believed to have committed around 40 rapes and sexual assaults in Spokane in the late 70s and early 80s. And the reason he had to be released is because 2 psychology experts concluded that he is in failing health and he no longer poses a danger to the public. My question is, upon his release, why wasn't there a plan to have him, if he truly is not a danger to reoffend, if he's largely living using a wheelchair, why is he being bounced around from community to community? They should have had a plan in place before he was released.
Agree.
Because he was the reason why is because he was released unconditionally, and so the person responsible for his placement is his own attorney, not the state.
Okay, so does he expect, and I get it, that, I mean, given his horrific crimes that he committed, I understand why communities don't want him. But again, how is it safe to have him bouncing around from place to place?
I agree. I agree 100%. And like you're trying to say, I think that there should have been some type of plan before he has gotten out. Because of the loose regulations sometimes or subjective opinions on those who have a past of sexual assault, this is how people slip through the cracks. And before you know it, you're living somewhere or you're in a situation and you have this person living right next door to you. And then you're just like, oopsie, sorry. And then it gets bounced from place to place. So this has to be frustration. And it also shows that we are not consistent when we are trying to keep tabs on people that have already caused harm to the community, Ursula.
Yeah. I'm curious because I'm seeing reports that he is close to being hospice level, that he's really in really poor shape. But again, it's almost the outward appearance, the what's happening right now, that I understand why there's outrage and no one is served by it.
I have had a lot of
sorry about that. Let's move on to the next story because it has been a very good year for Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. This story out of the Seattle Times. His total compensation just hit nearly $100 million for this year. Now, most of that isn't salary. His base pay is still $2.5 million, which is what it's been since 2019. But the rest is coming from stock awards and a hefty performance bonus, which soared because of Microsoft's huge gains in AI and cloud computing this year. Microsoft's stock jumped more than 23% briefly, pushing the company to nearly a $4 trillion market cap, and his stock awards alone were worth more than $84 million. Plus, he gets a $9.5 million cash bonus. But as the shareholders are celebrating, the company, as you know, and as we've been reporting, has had to lay off over 15,000 workers just in the past year. And he's at least acknowledging what he calls an incongruence between Microsoft's financial success and current employee morale.
I thought we were gonna have an easier 10 o'clock hour.
No, I said it's going to be full of meat, but we'll have some breaks. So your reaction to this news?
Imagine that you wake up every day before dawn, or as like Ursula says right now, the big dark is here, and you go in, you punch in the clock, and you carry the weight of your family, making sure they're okay, making sure that you and your family are not a part of the unhoused, making sure that you continue to work hard, because that's what people tell you. All you got to do is work hard. Pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. Meanwhile, while you're doing that, the top 1%, the top tiers, they buy yachts, they buy mansions, they buy more companies. And while the top continues to see their fortunes, to see their money expand, you yourself, your paycheck kind of stays the same. As a matter of fact, it's barely keeping up with inflation. Now, Ursula, sometimes we talk about this, they say, gee, you need to get better with economics. Gee, you don't understand money. Gee, you have this hate for billionaires. Okay, that's fair. I just want to know why we continue to forget about our heroes, the working class that have built these companies. You cannot continue to build wealth on the backs of so many and just be like, let's forget about them. Wait, I know America was built that way, but that's another topic. I don't want to get into that. Ursula, I'm tired of this, all the shareholders that are smiling. All the quarterly earnings are up. The CEO pay is going up. Wealth concentrated at the top while we continue to talk about jobs vanishing at the bottom. We have the CEOs and billionaires that are literally running this country. Now, I could have easily got away from this topic and but when is enough? How many times are you reporting on CEOs and they're just increase in money? And then at the same breath, your next story is going to be about the working class being laid off. But people tell me I hate billionaires. I'm confused.
Okay, I want to share a positive story because I had a great conversation with a woman I am getting to know a little bit better, our friend Dawn, who is one of Microsoft's the first 350 employees at Microsoft. She's current co-owner of the Seattle Storm. And she was talking to me about what she has done since retirement. And one of the things that was so striking and inspirational to me is how dedicated she talked about some other CEOs and people who have made it, who are dedicated to trying to pave paths and open pathways for people who would otherwise never get those chances, in particular in minority communities. But yeah, it's hard not to feel a certain way when you hear that thousands of people are losing their jobs, but the people at the very top are just bringing in the cash and just having more money than they would ever know what to do with. Now, and I don't know what great things he does in the community, so I'm not speaking to that. But I will just say that I do hear, and I'm getting to know somebody who has been very dedicated to trying to better other people's lives, knowing that she has a lot of privilege.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. It's always good to hear when someone's doing that. And by the way, I'm not making this personal about the Microsoft CEO. I don't hate him. I don't hate anybody.
You're just pointing out we're talking about this, the disparity.
Yeah, right.
And the gap.
And so let's go back to the 50s and 60s, and you had CEOs or owners and presidents of companies. The president and the CEO of the company and the person, the custodian that cleaned the company, the wage gap wasn't that much. And so here we are today where we are increasingly hearing about all of the numbers that are happening. And speaking of that, Ursula, you love when I do research. And by the way, after I give these numbers, I'm closing News Boss for the rest of the day.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. The billionaires, the world's richest 1% in the world, gained $33.9 trillion since 2015. Billionaires alone have added $6.5 trillion. And so when we throw these numbers out there, and I know people are like, oh, well, I'll never touch that. There is a thing that's happening right now where we, in our lifetime, we might see someone worth $1 trillion. I never thought it was possible for someone to be worth $500 billion. And I'm not hating on them. However, I am seeing the alarms, the red flags that are happening, that we have working class people here pretty soon that are struggling and will continue to struggle more. I have a feeling that in your top 5 stories, we will continue to talk about layoffs. And that hurts me. It hurts me more than I despise the billionaires. I despise the system. I despise the fact that it's the billionaires that are running this country. In the 50s and 60s, the CEOs and presidents, they didn't run this country. They run the country now. All of the laws that are being passed, the lobbyists, it's the people with money.
Yeah, they're not the ones that are going to be hurting at the end of the day.
Right. And then, but it hurts me that it's not a big deal. It feels that way.
I think it is a big deal, but right now, the current makeup of our government is favoring those who are at the top, at the very top.
It's not just favoring them.
Yes,
it's the billionaires at the top.
Enabling them.
They are making the rules.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Them.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Well, there's a big lie that we're being told all the time is we have to accept this because you and I benefit, because my retirement depends on the stock market. The problem, of course, is that, roughly half of us don't own stock. And those of us that do, we own some thousands of dollars worth of stock. But since 90% of the wealth in the stock market is owned by 10% of the people, if the market is booming, there's a banner year. I might get $5,000 additionally in my retirement account. Meanwhile, other people are getting the vast, vast majority of that benefit to the tune of billions of dollars. So we're getting pennies kicked down to us. Meanwhile, wages aren't going up because all of that money that goes to Wall Street through the dividends and the stock buybacks, that does not go to workers. It goes directly into the pockets of the 90% or the 10% of people who own 90% of the wealth. Mm-hmm. And it's like we're told that we need this system because our future depends on it. Why is it that your house can be taxed, a property that you live in can be taxed every single year on its gains, but that's not the same way with stocks? You could have $100 billion worth of stocks in the vast majority of states, and that wealth is not taxed every year, but your biggest investment, your house, is.
Great questions. Dave has a question. He says, hey, G, how much money is enough? I'm with you on this topic, but I'm just wondering.
It's funny.
Because I asked that very same question this morning.
It's
because
funny you asked it.
My natural instinct is to say, well, what's the answer? I don't believe in putting a cap on how much someone can earn, but the amounts that we're talking about are obscene. So what is enough? What is that something you would even entertain without being called a communist? I mean, that's going to happen next if we even entertain that idea.
How about I not answer that? And how about I just give you guys, because Ursula loves it when I give you guys some facts. So I got one for you. Economic Policy Institute. In 1965, CEO to worker compensation was 21-1 during that time. Today, as of 2024, 268-1. Is it going to increase or is it going to decrease?
Right now, I think we know the answer.
All right. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show.
Hey, vacation. Now we're going to go from talking about billionaires to folks who refuse to take even one-day vacation. Is that you? Text us. We'll have more on that coming up on the Gee and Ursula Show.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
The holidays are just around the corner, and it's about this time of year that I'm always reminded that I need to be grateful for my family, for my community, and for honest local businesses that still put people first. And that's why my family and I keep returning to Carter Subaru. We bought our 2016 Outback there, and every visit to them since has reminded us why. They don't deal with any gimmicks, no high-pressure sales. They just give you respect, service, and genuine care. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership, and right now they're offering 1.9% financing for 60 months on the new 2025 Crosstrek. And with over 250 Crosstreks in stock, you are going to find the perfect match for your lifestyle. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or online at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 10/31/25.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
Hey there, Dawn Riding with Olympic Hot Tub. You know what's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price during our great rebate event. Save up to $4,500 on the best hot tub you can own. Saltwater soaking, incredible savings, sleeping better, feeling better. What are you waiting for? Our great rebate event ends October 27th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Catch 10-time Grammy winner Arturo Sandoval, October 23rd through 26th at Dimitro's Jazz Alley. The Cuban trumpet legend lights up the stage with Afro-Cuban rhythms and high-energy jazz. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A man suspected in 40 sexual assaults now lives just blocks away from an elementary school in Federal Way. This mother tells KIRO 7 TV she feels uneasy knowing Kevin Coe, the so-called South Hill rapist, lives nearby.
I'm absolutely worried for my child. He walks home from school some days, and then I pick up my nieces and nephews, and they also walk home from school some days.
A judge released Coe from the Civil Commitment Center on McNeil Island after the state said it had no proof the 78-year-old is still a sexual predator. And Federal Way's mayor says he is confident Coe is no longer a serious safety threat. State engineers are on their way to I-90 near Cle Elum, where they say a truck carrying an oversized load slammed into an overpass.
State Trooper Jeremy Weber tells me oversized loads are supposed to go around, not under the I-90 Bullfrog Bridge. And when this one truck driver didn't do the right thing,
then of course struck the bridge and caused massive damage.
The impact sent concrete flying and left dozens of pieces of rebar dangling over the pavement. It's the third bridge hit by a truck in the past couple of months. A State Route 167 overpass in Pacific remains under repair. The nearby White River Bridge on State Route 410 just reopened. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
At the White House today,
the East Wing as we knew it is gone.
CBS's Jennifer Jacobs says it's being demolished to make way for President Trump's ballroom.
Now, historic preservationists are hoping to put a pause on this and have it go through the normal review process and open it up to public comment, but it seems like it is too late for that.
It is day 22 of the federal government shutdown, and furloughed federal workers are seeking help where they can.
Where there's a need, we feed.
Pastor Oliver Carter runs a food bank near Washington, D.C. He says he gets it.
My wife works for the federal government right now.
And she's furloughed.
And we got a check last week, a half a check, and this week is no check coming. So we should be in line too. But it's really great that we can help other people while we need help.
Upwards of 80,000 workers here in Washington state are affected by the shutdown. They may qualify for unemployment and other services through the state. The Employment Security Department is holding a webinar tomorrow, so you can find out more. We've put a link on our website, mynorthwest.com. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 342 points, NASDAQ off 349. KIRO News Radio traffic. A crash is blocking 2 lanes now on I-90 westbound near Bellevue. You're backed up to Eastgate. And remember, I-90 is closed westbound near Cle Elum due to a damaged overpass. Watch for detours there. Travel times overall pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 32. Renton to Bellevue, 26. Traffic brought to you by Washington 811. If you're digging in your yard, you're legally required to call 811 to avoid damaging utility lines. Call or go to digsafewa.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. An increasing chance of showers today with highs around 60. It's 48 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday to all of you. Yeah, we're still a little bit away from bringing our clocks 1 hour back, turning our clocks 1 hour back, but I was noticing this morning, it sure was dark out. It just feels like it's just getting closer and closer and closer.
Does that make you want to stay in bed longer?
Yes. Actually, since I got back from vacation, I've been trying to take advantage of not fully getting over jet lag, and so I have been getting up earlier, shockingly.
Oh, nice.
I know. But hey, speaking about getting up early, a lot of people are just not willing to stop going to work, apparently, because a lot of people are keeping vacation days unused. Right. There's this new workplace survey that finds a lot of Americans are leaving their vacation days on the table. This is according to Flex Jobs. 1 in 4 workers did not even take a single vacation day in the past year, even though more than 80% of them have paid time off. And the main reasons are they've got just too much work to do. They have managers who give them the side eye if they're going to take vacation time. And that they have company cultures that make employees feel guilty for taking time away. Sometimes they have listeners who say, "Is it the Gee or Ursula show?" Okay, that was a joke. That was a joke. A quarter of those surveyed said their boss would actually discourage them from taking a full week off. What do you think?
I think that I'm jealous and envious of those that have a whole lot of vacation at the end of the year. That's what I think, 1. 2, I believe in that survey and statistic. I would wonder if those 1 in 4 you talked about, what percentage of them work from home. Because the one thing that I do know, that those that work from home usually have more PTO time than someone that has to go into the office every day.
Do you have certain people in mind when you say this?
No, not at all. Not at all. But you know what I mean? Like I think that's normal. I think if you work from home, there's a lot of people that work from home on Mondays and Fridays.
That is true. That is true.
So you mean
they
to tell
don't feel compelled to have to take additional days off? Is that what you're saying?
So you mean to tell me?
They feel like they're getting.
If you're working from home on a Friday, and you have to fly out to go somewhere on a Friday, you're gonna take a PTO to fly out? Come on now.
No.
Stop doing this.
No.
No.
Okay, so I think I think your statistic is not weighing in on this survey. I don't think that's reflected in this. But I think one of the things, and I'm seeing it on our text line, and maybe you listening right now can agree with this, is this idea of, I would take vacation time if I could afford to take a vacation right now. I just can't afford to go anywhere. And I would suggest to you, if you're in that category, take the time off anyway. Right. Do not leave vacation time on the table.
I agree.
If your company has a use it or lose it, use it.
All I know is I look at the way it is designed and set up, right? And I can only speak for myself because I don't see anybody else's stuff. I look at mine. And Ursula, I look at my vacation. You know, that thing is thirsty. You know what I mean? The amount of hours, it's struggling, right? And then I look at my sick time, right? My sick it's through the roof, right? So it almost forces people in the United States it forces people like me to just be like, you know what? Instead of taking a vacation day, I'm just going to say that I'm sick. It forces you to lie. But me, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
I be scared to do that. That's karma. Because one day you might actually, I ain't faking that.
Okay, check this out, though.
What?
There are 7 countries in the world that do not mandate some amount of paid vacation. Of some of these countries I've never even heard of. Kiribati, Marshall Islands, Micronesia, Palau, Tonga, and the United States.
Yeah.
I'm only laughing because when you go to other countries, like if you go to Germany or go to France, their workers' rights and the whole idea of paid time off is so far ahead, in my opinion, than what we have here.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea that you get 2 weeks of vacation a year for an entire year, I think that's crazy.
It needs to be more. Definitely needs to be more. Now, there's some people.
But given that, why are still people like not taking any vacation days?
Some people. How about this? Some people have their identity wrapped up into working.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm people. You know what I mean? Like unfortunately.
Max in the 425 says, if you saw my inbox after vacation, you would never want to go on vacation again. Now, I understand that sentiment because when I was managing the newsroom, I never felt like I could go on vacation. Even when I was on vacation, I was still working. I was still answering emails. I still felt connected and guilty about being away from work. Yeah. And I understand that. But that needs to be a changed mindset, I think, in this country. Sure. It's so unhealthy to not take vacation time.
I feel bad for my wife because I take vacation days to go work, right? And a lot of times it is unfair to her that I do that. You know, that's unfortunate. And that's one of the reasons why she has a bunch of vacation days because she goes to work.
But would you support her if she said, I'm going to go on a girls' trip and take some time off?
She knows that. Yeah. Matter of fact, she's getting ready to do that. Yeah.
Go do it.
I support that. 100%. No doubt. All right. Ursula, would you take less pay for more vacation?
Sure would.
Hey, coming up next on the show, it's time for scenarios. Let's do it. Gee and Ursula.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 54, Bobby Wagner, linebacker, one of the finest of his generation. He set just about every tackling record that can be set. He was the heart and soul of one of the best defenses to ever play in the National Football League.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM. Visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, Brock Heward here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Searching the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things have changed, and some things haven't. Using those lanes without a good-to-go account means you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. You'll always pay the lowest toll rate with Good to Go. No change. Carpoolers now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Does a Good to Go pass still save you $2 on every toll? Definitely not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. It is time for scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
My 8-year-old daughter is suddenly terrified of our new house. She's convinced there's a ghost under her bed, and if we're not in the same room, she bolts down the hallway in tears. She can't fall asleep at night and wakes before dawn, panicked and shaking. She shares a room with her 5-year-old sister, so the whole house is up before sunrise and everyone is exhausted. The fear seems to be spreading now. This morning, she screamed because she saw someone in white standing in the backyard. But when I looked, there was nothing there. She never used to be afraid of anything. Our new place is only a little bigger than our last home, still in the same neighborhood, but it's older, 2 stories, and full of odd noises at night. The floorboards creak when no one's walking, and once the hallway light flickered for a few seconds before burning steady again. Her little sister isn't scared, though, but she mirrors her big sister's nerves, and now both of them jump at shadows. I've tried with reassurance that I can let them know and assure them that nothing is going to happen to them. I just want them to feel safe. But to stop waking up at 4 a.m. is just a certain thing that seems to be unseen and is not going to happen. What should I do? 888-973-5476. Ursula, you up to bat?
Did you ever think there were ghosts in your house growing up?
What? All the time. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, kids have big imaginations.
Wait a minute. Did you hear what the mama said? She said, our new place is a little bigger.
Uh-huh. It's really old.
It's older. 2 stories.
Yeah.
Full of noises at night. The floorboards creak when no one's walking, and once the hallway light flickered.
Yeah, it's called maybe you need a new bulb.
Oh, Mama, I'm a grown man today, and still, what's that noise? You know what I mean?
Okay, so if you have 2 kids who are scared, you can give them reassurance.
Yeah.
Fake it. You can give them reassurance if they need, take some little actions. Hey, see, let's go look around and see. Don't make fun of them. Don't just say, "Oh, don't be silly." Yeah. I remember when I thought that there was don't even ask me why, but I remember witch's tongue on the windowsill growing up in the Philippines. I ran into my parents' bedroom, told them the story, and I remember it was really sweet. They allowed me never happened, but they allowed me to stay in bed with them and just reassured me it's not a big deal. Well, eventually you realize it's not a big deal, and then you can go about your ways. But the worst thing you can do is play into their fears. Suddenly now you're a scaredy cat too.
Right.
Because if there's one thing that kids can do, they can sense when A, you're faking it, and B, if you also have fears. And if that's the case, just move.
They can't. Not around December. They
Just
can't.
move.
They can't.
Just move.
Well, first, before we move on.
Just kidding.
Are ghosts real? Are any ghosts real?
Okay. I have a friend who
Oh, boy.
is one of those ghost chasers. I give her grief all the time. If she's listening right now, I give her grief all the time. I don't believe they're real.
Okay.
Well, you answer.
I think it's possible. I do. I'm being serious. Do I think it's possible? Yes. Do I think that sometimes something happens in my life and I say, "Oh, that's my dad talking to me"?
And
I do. So if I can say that, then somehow I kind of have some type of believing in ghosts.
Yeah. The whole leap of faith thing, huh?
Gosh. I don't believe in ghosts. I do allow for the possibility of interdimensional beings, though. I think that is certainly a possibility. There are dimensions that we cannot see or understand as human beings. When it comes to this situation, like I remember being a little kid and being literally paralyzed in my bed, could not move because I was convinced someone was breaking into the house. And you get over it eventually. I guess my only advice is maybe try trazodone for the kids. Just get them on some heavy narcotics that knock them out. Although I guess trazodone's an SSRI. Or melatonin. There are a ton of parents who give their kids melatonin these days, and it is remarkably effective.
And safe, according to my pediatrician. The other thing you could do is, well, you were laughing when I said you could move, but Doug in Mount Vernon says you could call Ghostbusters.
I ain't afraid of no ghost. Something strange. Oh, that's it, Nick. What do you got?
Well, I was just going to say, if you've got kids and you're looking into getting a home, there are some of the finer details you should look into before that purchase. Because kids, they have a stronger memory during this time of life. In certain scenes and situations, they can have that lasting effect. Too many shadows, noises, older rooms, and developments. You might be dealing with a little trauma and stress from the young ones, but you can at least tell them you'll be the one to protect them from any of those feared spirits.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Easier said than done to just move, but I don't think there's anything they got to be worried about. And he got it this one time. He got it.
Finally!
5 years. 5 years.
Gee is celebrating because for once he guessed the song that Nick would use. My gosh, Gee, it's almost as if you won the World Series.
This my whole life. I've been waiting for this. Look, I'm done. News Boss is open. It's closed. I'm done for the day.
He's already at the ballpark now.
Excuse me, we have another hour to do.
By the way,
the text came in from Sandy and Tumwater. I don't know about giving the kids some melatonin and all that kind of stuff for the ghosts.
I'm totally joking about the trazodone.
Oh, okay.
Melatonin is safe.
Yeah.
Completely joking.
Yeah, trazodone is a whole nother thing. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Nick.
Thank you.
You nailed it.
I just said yesterday. I'm done. I'm not guessing no more. I don't need to guess anymore. It took me 5 years.
Okay, thank God. Thank God I made it really obvious when I said call Ghostbusters.
Oh, my God.
No.
You helped him out there.
Wait,
he cheated.
I said I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
That's so true.
All right. Hey, coming up next, someone who is a challenger for the mayor was arrested several years back during a protest. I'll tell you how I'll actually defend that part. Yeah, we'll talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
Let me tell you something. Boston makes me feel good.
A KIRO Newsradio exclusive.
This is Charlie Harder. I've spent the past 6 weeks investigating a story involving a youth pastor, child abuse, a mayor, and a name change, all while civic leaders appear to look the other way.
I've read the police report. It is horrible. It is sickening.
There's some level of calculation there.
You have to make it right.
Join Seattle's Morning News tomorrow morning at 6:15 and 8:15. Watch the full story at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
Halloween, unfortunately, is one of the highest days for DUI nationally. If you or someone you know, maybe a friend or a loved one, is involved in an incident coming home after the game or during the holiday weekend, you know you're not alone. Reach out to DUI Heroes and speak to Jonathan and his team. There are DUI defense specialists handling cases all over the state of Washington. 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com. DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The John Curley Show.
I can't wait till I get a little older, be the really crotchety old guy, getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card.
One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it. And now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying... Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Gee and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
What if weight loss didn't feel like a lonely battle? What if you had a proven tool and a trusted guide by your side? At Longevity Medical Clinics, our medically supervised GLP-1 weight loss program helps you shed pounds, boost your metabolism, and feel more like yourself again. But unlike online programs that drop medication at your doorstep and disappear, we take the time to understand your body. We track your lab work, monitor your safety, and adjust your plan so your results are healthy and lasting. Because weight loss isn't one size fits all, and you deserve a program designed for your unique biology. If you're serious about losing weight and you want to do it the right way, Longevity Medical Clinic is here to help. Call Longevity Medical Clinics today at 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com for your free health analysis. Longevity Medical Clinics. Real medicine, real monitoring, real results. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Vice President J.D. Vance met with Israel's Prime Minister today, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will be heading to the region. Holly Williams reports it's part of a diplomatic blitz to keep the Gaza peace plan alive, amid growing concerns about whether Hamas will disarm.
Many are skeptical that the group, which is designated a terrorist organization by the U.S., will ever hand over its weapons as stipulated in the peace plan. And some here in Israel are not convinced that Prime Minister Netanyahu will stick to the agreement either. One of Netanyahu's fiercest critics, a former advisor to several Israeli foreign ministers, told us that Netanyahu agreed to the ceasefire under pressure from the U.S., but does not want to look as if he failed to defeat Hamas.
The International Court of Justice said today Israel is obligated to allow more aid into Gaza. Paul Reichler is a counsel for Palestine at the court.
I don't see how a reasonable person, certainly acting in good faith, could then say that Israel has complied with its international legal obligations. Plainly, it has not.
President Trump is hosting the NATO Secretary General at the White House this afternoon. Mark Rutte is bringing with him a European plan for peace in Ukraine. Day 22 of the government shutdown and more of the same on Capitol Hill.
As soon as Chuck Schumer reopens the government, all of our members will have an opportunity to engage.
The president should meet with us. It's not me, him, or anything political. It's that the people are in crisis.
Health insurance costs are rising faster than inflation, as Michael Wallace reports.
The nonprofit KFF surveyed 1,800 employers and found the cost of their family health insurance plans rose 6% this year to $27,000. Insurers blame rising rates of illnesses like cancer in the working age population. More employers are passing the burden on to their employees in the form of higher deductibles and co-payments. Richmond, Virginia school teacher Sequoia Ross just learned her family deductible will go up another $500 next year.
Right now, everything is expensive. I don't need my insurance to also be a thorn in my side.
Stacey Lynn looks at a new study on alcohol and blood pressure.
Drinking light to moderate amounts of alcohol can increase your blood pressure, which raises the risk of cardiovascular disease. But a new study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology also found that when you cut back on the booze or stop drinking altogether, your BP can go down in a big way. Even slight changes in alcohol consumption, particularly among women, can improve blood pressure and heart health.
On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are lower. The Dow Jones Industrial's off 378 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A Good Samaritan nearly killed after giving a family a ride. That story coming up, but first, KIRO News Radio traffic. In Tacoma, you've got a new crash on I-5 northbound near South 56th Street. Not seeing a significant backup just yet. A truck with an oversized load has damaged an overpass on I-90 westbound. That's prompting a closure near Cle Elum right now. Watch for detours. Engineers are checking out the damage there. And the crash has been cleared from I-90 westbound near Bellevue Way. Your backup is breaking up. Traffic brought to you by Tacoma Holiday Festival, presented by Puyallup Chocolates. October 23rd through the 26th at the Tacoma Dome. Buy tickets at holidaygiftsshows.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Investigators now say it was a Good Samaritan who offered a couple and their kids a ride in his van and was nearly killed for his generosity. KIRO 7 TV's Allison Amoy reports.
According to investigators, the couple and their 7 children were walking on a dark road Sunday night after their truck got stuck, and that's when Melvin Swaggerty spotted them on his DoorDash route, and he offered them a ride. Shortly after, he was stabbed multiple times, including in his neck, and he fell out of the car bleeding heavily. Prosecutors say the suspects then took off in his car. They were later spotted in Kitsap County in that same car with all their kids in tow.
The children are in protective custody while their parents remain behind bars. A quiet East Bremerton neighborhood woke up to a SWAT operation this morning. The Kitsap County Sheriff's Office says 15 people were living on the property on Bell Park Drive. 4 were arrested on drug charges and outstanding warrants. Detectives are still on the scene. Auburn police are investigating after Halloween displays at multiple homes in Auburn were destroyed. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao has more.
Cameras caught a vandalism spree across Auburn. Surveillance video captures teens storming a porch, smashing pumpkins. 4 miles away, what appears to be the same group toppling a 12-foot skeleton. Then this, another inflatable slashed.
I couldn't comprehend what would make them want to do that, and so many in one night.
Auburn police says they're investigating multiple vandalism reports.
Officers are reviewing security footage. The Everett City Council plans to vote tonight on whether to renew a law meant to deter homeless camps. The ordinance bans sitting or lying down in parts of the downtown and giving out food and supplies without a permit. Critics say it hurts the homeless. Supporters say it encourages them to use shelters and other services. The Seattle City Council has a little more money to work with than previously thought. The city's Jan Duras presented the October forecast this week.
In general, the forecast reflects that slightly improved outlook, increases revenues, not dramatically.
He says the city will have an additional $12 million, which is a small fraction of the city's general fund. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. An increasing chance of showers today with highs around 60. It's 50 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, what up, everybody? This is Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday, October 22nd. Appreciate you being here. If you're new to the show, thank you for being here. And if you're always here, thank you for coming back. Good morning, Ursula.
And could I add one more category? If you said you were never going to listen to the show, but you decided to give us one more chance, I also want to welcome you back, because a lot of times you end up becoming my favorite people.
They do?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because I think that you end up finding out that, hey, there are a lot of things that we may have in common that maybe we didn't consider, and I'm all about trying to get people together.
Well, I ain't going to lie to you. You ain't necessarily my favorite people. Just welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Right.
Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
So in a couple of weeks, you should be voting if you haven't even considered what is on the ballot right now. One of the big races is the Seattle mayoral race. And right now, we are learning that one of the candidates, Katie Wilson, was arrested during a 2013 protest in Renton. Police records show that she was among 13 demonstrators who were arrested for disorderly conduct during an anti-Walmart labor protest. And officers claim that she blocked traffic. She did cooperate when asked to move, and she was released at the scene. Wilson's campaign is describing this event as peaceful civil disobedience organized by a union, and they call the arrest insignificant. But also point out it's actually a reflection of her values of solidarity and collective action. We're also finding out, and this is actually from KUOW, that they wrote a story about her and said Katie Wilson can barely afford to live in Seattle, and that is why she wants to be mayor. As KUOW reports, Wilson's parents, who are both professors in New York, still send her checks every couple of months to help cover childcare for her 2-year-old daughter. And she says daycare costs about $2,200 a month. We've talked about the expense related to childcare, and especially how high it is here. She doesn't track exactly how much they send. She acknowledges, though, it does help her quite a bit. And she told KUOW that she isn't ashamed of the support. She calls it proof of how expensive Seattle has become for working families. And she says if you're lucky enough to have parents who can pitch in a little bit, that's not something to be embarrassed about. Now, one of my concerns about this upcoming election is I don't know that a lot of people are very aware of these two candidates and the difference between these two candidates. Wilson actually won the primary, not just by a little bit, but by a lot. She leads the Transit Riders Union. She's running as a populist candidate. She focused and she made a lot of headway in the primary, focusing on affordability, housing, and public transportation. And, now, as we know, Mayor Bruce Harrell came in or is coming in as the underdog, even though he is the incumbent. But now he's gotten all sorts of backing from Pete Buttigieg and all business organizations, et cetera, et cetera. And now he's holding a lot of press conferences to try to make sure that people realize the differences between the two candidates.
Right.
I guess my question to you, learning that A, she's been arrested, and B, she still gets help from her parents, does that make you pause if you were a Seattle voter?
No. If I were a Seattle voter and it came down to, obviously you talked about her arrest in the protests that happened. Dr. King, Martin Luther King, was arrested nearly 30 times. We all know how that goes. That wouldn't bother me. And as a matter of fact, let me just say this, Ursula. There are things about Katie Wilson, the things that she's about, the ideas that she has. Hey, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I like some of her ideas. Right? Some of her ideas are some of the very things that I talk about on this show. So this isn't disrespect. I'm not trying to disrespect Katie Wilson. However, the city is a very complex, it's one of the most complex cities in the country to lead. And when I bring up complex, I bring up housing affordability, everything that's going on right now. You know what's happening. We are now a target of the Trump administration. You're talking about a nearly $9 billion budget. You're talking about 41 different departments that have to report. So with the idea of thinking of somebody who's going to come in and do all these different ideas, while I like some of our ideas, now is not the time for that. If I were a voter here, it wouldn't be. So with that being said, of the difference in the candidates, I want to just say, I'll leave with this. Did you ever watch Welcome Back, Kotter back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Or even if you didn't watch that show, you guys remember in school, think about a big classroom. In a classroom, you have those in the back of the classroom. Usually, Ursula, who was in the back of the class? Usually the folks kind of throwing the spitballs and the goof-offs in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Who was in the front?
Goody two-shoes.
Thank you. And then in the middle, which, Ursula, you always talk about this, those in the middle, they're just in the middle, doing what they're not really too hot or too cold. That's how I look at the city of Seattle. I look at the back when you guys are talking about the drug crisis. You're talking about the homelessness crisis and all those things. And so we got to address that. I look at the front as if it's Microsoft or Amazon, and because they got to get addressed. But the people in the middle, the people that are in their 20s and 30s, the people that's living in Seattle, they are not being heard. They are not being spoken for. They can't afford the cost of living here in the city of Seattle. So the problem and the reason why a lot of people are listening to what Katie has to say is because of that middle right there of people living here and not being able to afford to live.
Yeah, well, a couple things. One is I also think it was the primary, and a lot of times in the primary, people who are really upset with the current situation are the ones who are going to show up. And so I don't think it's going to be nearly as widespread of a gap between the two come the general election, provided people actually show up to vote. Secondly, I'm just going to bring up the arrest. Yeah, I think it's a consideration. It was for disorderly conduct. Yeah, she was released at the scene, and she says it was peaceful civil disobedience. I would question if it's peaceful civil disobedience. You and I have spoken out against protesters blocking traffic or blocking freeways, that kind of thing. I mean, so I would want to know more details about that.
But Dr. King was arrested 29 times.
I mean, I hear that. But, I mean, did we have the same energy when the Seattle Times brought up Bruce Harrell's arrest back in 1996? A lot of people wanted to point out, as if that is a disqualifier. So
it's a different crime, though, too, right?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I mean, it was, yes, he allegedly pointed a gun during a parking dispute outside a casino in 1996 where he said he felt like his wife was threatened.
Hey, Ursula, you're legit in bringing that up. But since you want to bring that up, I'll just say this. I think that the two candidates that we have right here, if this were opposite, if it was the qualifications turned around, right? If Bruce Harrell was in a situation where he had this going on, no experience, has never really led, and
it would be a non-starter.
It would be a non-starter. So your whole point about arrest, yes.
Yeah, let's use the same filters is what I'm trying to say. The other part of it is you have someone who, and I'm sympathetic, and you have someone who is barely able to afford living here, she says. And the more important thing to me is she's never actually presided over a budget, a very big budget.
She ran a nonprofit with no employees.
So there you go. So yeah, maybe you're getting money and help from your parents, and I understand that. But the complexities involved with trying to run an entire city the size of Seattle with the problems and challenges we have, I think Mayor Harrell is far from a perfect candidate. But when it comes to the two of them, I mean, do I think, and let's talk to some of the business owners and some of the people who actually live in the city of Seattle, and they'll say they have seen improvement. Are we where we need to be? No. Have we solved all our problems? Nope. But I am more willing to give Bruce a second term than to take a risk and have someone who's essentially unproven and, I mean, has never actually had to operate a budget.
This reminds me of November of 2024. Did we have problems in 2024? Yes, we did. When Biden was president and Kamala was running, did we have problems? Yes, we did. And then there was a lot of people who was like, oh, we need to change. We need to be able to buy groceries. We need this. Got a question for y'all. How's this country compared to a year ago this time? Right now. This is what happens when inexperience or in this case, I'm not even putting Katie in the same category as that man that's running the federal government right now. However, the point is that this whole idea of trying to grab inexperience to do these things is just not the time.
I actually want to push back on your point that they're being, if you were to reverse their roles, they would be treated differently, because Nikita Oliver's only experience was as an activist. And she got nearly 20% of the vote in a very crowded mayoral race. I think the attraction to the Katie Wilsons or the Nikita Olivers is just there are very progressive people here who are allergic to what they see as establishment politicians. Bruce is seen as an establishment politician. I completely agree that experience does matter. I think she'd be great on the city council, right?
Yeah, exactly.
She'd be fantastic on the city council.
Sure. But I will also speak, again, as someone who lives and works in Seattle, that I don't want to go back to the city council, the makeup of the city council that we had several years ago. So I want to point that out as well.
Yeah. Chef, I'm totally disagreeing with you about if the roles were opposite, if these two candidates, if Mayor Bruce Harrell was in a situation where his only leadership and or experience has been a nonprofit. If Bruce Harrell was in what was reported by KUOW, if Bruce Harrell was in a situation where he's getting money still from his parents, I'm sorry. There is a different standard for Mayor Bruce Harrell than it would be in any other situation, right? I'm talking about experience. To get ready to handle a $9 billion budget, no, there is a double standard when it comes to Bruce Harrell. Don't even.
Arthur and Kent
no,
says
we'll agree to
she's
disagree.
trying to manage Seattle's budget while she can't even manage her own. Come on, let's be real. I agree with that, actually. So, okay. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, we'll move on.
So there is a rumor making the rounds this week, and the timing has a lot of people talking because this is according to a report from 80 Level that Amazon allegedly laid off 40% of its AWS Develop Ops team just days before last week's massive cloud outage that knocked services offline across industries from Snapchat, McDonald's, to Roblox, to Fortnite. You even said that you thought you were affected by it, or maybe it was coincidental that...
Yeah, anybody's Ring cameras tripping on Monday? Mine was tripping.
So this report claims those jobs were replaced with AI systems that can detect and fix configuration errors automatically. Now, Amazon has not confirmed any of this, and even the outlet has stressed that this story is unverified. But I'm curious if anyone else was affected, because the coincidence has sparked a lot of online speculation. What is true, though, is that Amazon did cut hundreds of AWS jobs over the summer, and whether AI had a hand in this latest outage or not, critics say the crash did expose a much bigger problem, which is how dependent the entire world has become on a single cloud provider. I mean, you always talk about, things that keep you up at night. Think about it. How disruptive it was when this happened. Or how disruptive it is if there is some kind of breach at the airport.
I think about this probably way too much. Matter of fact, I just want to say I want the OG to come back. When I say the OG, I'm talking about the OG in his mid-20s that didn't care about anything or anyone but himself. That I love that dude. That dude right there had not a care in the world, slept 8 to 10 hours every night, and woke up with no money in his pocket, but life was good. Anyways, let me get back to it. Ursula, I worry about it all the time because, all of these things, there's a lot of things that's kept in the sky, right? All of these. So if one of these satellites are hit or nicked or some type of hit like that,
life's going to become very inconvenient.
We are in trouble. Like, the way we depend on technology now is scary, or something there's a hack, and then our travel, this airline is not serviceable right now because there was a hack and a breach. And think about this. And again, on Monday during the show, my Ring camera was tripping. And it was bothering me, and I couldn't concentrate. And the fact that...
Yeah, Cal, I know you were really bothered by it.
I was.
Cal in Renton says, Ring cameras are affected. I also do Spanish lessons on Duolingo. Duolingo was affected. Chef was saying some people's smart beds were affected. They became like rocks.
I'll tell you another thing that was a pain. If you guys remember, it was Monday Night Football this past Monday.
Yeah.
People couldn't access their tickets. They couldn't access
that's a problem.
No, I'm serious. Like, these things happen. So Jerry in 206 says Young G is now the OG. Yeah, and you know what? Jerry, I'm glad you said it. The OG, man. It's OG, man.
Okay, I want to give a quick update because that there was that 5-day standoff at Skyline High School. Football coach Peyton Pallure has now been reinstated following his sudden suspension last week. The Issaquah School District launched this investigation after what it called parent complaints about player participation. So we're getting a few more details there, G. So his assistants had resigned in protest, accusing a small but vocal minority of parents of spreading misinformation and undermining the program's integrity. But now Pallure is back as the coach and is all good?
It's all good. Everything's great. But that's what happens, right? When the people speak, and there were a lot of people, former players, former teammates, right, that came and spoke up on his behalf. Like, man, I was seeing posts from all kinds of people on social media. But again,
if you want to see a lot of very involved parents, do something to the football coach. That's when you see parents you've never seen before coming out of the woodwork.
Gee, how important are those connections as a football coach?
Let me tell you something. They don't go that crazy over the chemistry teacher.
No.
If the chemistry teacher was put on suspension, you think we'd be talking about this? You think if the biology teacher was put on suspension on a leave because the district is looking into something, you think people would lose their mind? But let it be good old football. Pearls clutched. Clutched your pearls. Now, again, this worked out in his favor because he had more people to advocate for. Now, Ursula,
doesn't always work that way.
Me and you still don't know what happened. And
they said it was complaints about player participation.
I mean, again, we still don't know. I didn't see the report for myself.
Who gets suspended for that and then reinstated? There's some clashes going on there.
It depends what those accusations are and who's making them.
I tell you what. The next time you guys hear KIRO Radio and you hear that there's been some fight for this English teacher, let me know. Because for some reason, that football something, it gets a lot of attention, Ursula. All right, coming up next, it's time for Agree to Disagree. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes, The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins,
weekdays 3 to 7,
is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize for you because we know you're going to go into hibernation. So here's orange and yellow and fiery colors everywhere. So this is our final gift to you.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back?
back. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riding with Olympic Hot Tub. You know what's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price during our great rebate event. Save up to $4,500 on the best hot tub you can own. Saltwater soaking, incredible savings, sleeping better, feeling better. What are you waiting for? Our great rebate event ends October 27th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The so-called Spokane South Hill rapist now lives just blocks away from an elementary school in Federal Way. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson says Kevin Coe has been moved a couple of times now.
He was released earlier this month after the state said he no longer met its civil commitment standards. First, he was going to move to Federal Way. Community pushback there meant he moved to Auburn, but that house was on Muckleshoot tribal land. The tribe trespassed him, and now he is back in Federal Way.
Coe is 78 and in failing health. The Federal Way mayor says he's confident Coe is not a serious public safety risk now. I-90 is closed westbound near Cle Elum after an oversized truck driving under an overpass struck it. State Trooper Jeremy Weber.
Apparently, he was supposed to take that exit 80 to go around the bridge and didn't, and caused massive damage.
Photos on MyNorthwest.com show the rebar pulled off the concrete like tendons ripped from bone. This is the third overpass or bridge hit by a trucker recently. In September, a dump truck driver was cited after damaging the State Route 167 bridge near Pacific. Repairs are not expected to be done until next year. In August, a trucker hit the White River Bridge on State Route 410. It has reopened. President Trump is being urged to stop work on his White House ballroom after photos showed heavy equipment tearing chunks out of the East Wing. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
He's using private funds to do it. How in the world could they oppose that? The only logical reason is because they have Trump derangement syndrome.
But the nonprofit National Trust for Historic Preservation is asking for a pause until a review of the ballroom plans is completed. This is day 22 of the federal government shutdown, and if you're a federal worker who's been sent home without pay, you can apply for jobless benefits through Washington State. But if you're considered an essential worker, like an air traffic controller or disaster response worker, take note.
For the folks that are going to work and working without pay, they won't be eligible for unemployment insurance because they're working. even though they're not getting paid.
Donna Mack with the Employment Security Department says there are other resources available. The state is holding a webinar tomorrow. We put a link on our website, mynorthwest.com. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 388 points. NASDAQ off 348. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Heather. Global Credit Union's got the update. All's well on this side of the mountains. It's our latest bridge strike in Kittitas County that we're monitoring this morning. Of course, you've probably heard about it by now. Westbound 90 at Bullfrog Road, milepost 80. An overheight truck struck the overpass late last night, and today all westbound lanes are blocked there. So drivers are exiting and rejoining the freeway at the Bullfrog Road exit. And right now, you're seeing about a 3-mile backup stretching into Clay Elum. Around here, we're just seeing a little crowding through Seattle. North 5 slows at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. South 5, you're crowded from Northgate across the Ship Canal Bridge. Linwood to Seattle, a 20-minute commute. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing chance of showers today with highs around 60. It's 50 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday to all of you. Sure love it when people say, I am texting for the first time because you heard something that really struck you. Welcome if you just are joining us on the text line as well. That number is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Right now, though, it is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
All right, I have a very simple question. Are women more nurturing than men? This is an argument that Gee and I got into a little bit during one of our breaks. So I said, all right, let's stop it right here. I'll save it for 11:30. Gee, your position?
Yeah, these two arguments that I've had with you today, Chef, feels like me arguing with somebody that the earth is flat. Like, you can't argue that. You can't argue that. You gotta try
okay,
it.
well, what's your position? What's your position?
It's
State
not
your
flat.
position.
It's not flat.
No. About,
we agree.
About nurturing.
Over.
Okay, very simple. Women are more nurturing than men. Full stop. So much so, if a baby is born in the family, if a baby is born in the friend group, who wants to go see the baby first? The man or the woman? Is it usually the man is like, Helen, we got to go. They had the baby. We're going to head right now to Harborview. We got to go. No, stop doing this. This is not an indictment on any man or woman. It's just is what it is. Men are less nurturing than women.
So I will generally agree with you. But here's where I actually, because we didn't have time to go through 18 different studies, I did go to ChatGPT. I did go to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT agrees with you, G, but wanted to make a point of saying the differences are not as vast as you might think. There are a lot of nurturing men, and I think, Chef, you are one of them. All you need to do is look at the Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page and look at how Chef was reacting to his son Matthew at the end of the Mariners' run. I mean, that is a very nurturing, very empathetic dad.
Somebody says, sounds like JLV and Piala says, sounds like G only knows terrible men.
No, that's not it.
Okay.
No,
okay.
But no.
Okay.
But I just want to point out that the evidence and the research does show that women, on average, tend to show more certain nurturing and caring behavior. So you were correct. It is not an indictment.
See, that's interesting because my ChatGPT and my Gemini both say exactly the opposite. I'm going to agree with you on this, though. Women express more nurturing qualities in our society than men do. But that is due to socialization. It is not biological.
Yeah.
There's nothing about having a higher estrogen level that makes you more caring, more loving, and the reverse with testosterone, right? So, like, when I was a kid, if there was a baby, I would have been all about the baby.
Sure.
Like, love small animals. Like, I see this with my son. But you learn over time as a guy to not express those type of emotions, right? Women are accultured into taking care of the dishes, the family, the kids, etc. I mean, like the whole reason this came up.
Just to be clear, though, I don't put doing dishes into nurturing. I don't even put those two in the.
I'm saying it can be a gendered role.
You're talking about
right?
nature versus nurture.
Yes, exactly.
And so that's what. So we're looking at the same things. The research shows that it's not just all nature. It's the nurture part of it that plays a big role, which is why I hate doing the sweeping statements. But I think in general, women tend to be slightly more nurturing. That doesn't take away from many men who have these different roles. And I think it's just one of those things that
we're arguing a distinction without a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you could say like in society, women express themselves as more nurturing, but if you look at the studies that show, hey, when men are giving primary caregiver roles, they express the same level of nurturing, the same level of bond emotionally with kids or whatever it is. And the reason this came up is because we were talking about whether kids could come over for a sleepover to a single dad's house, and I mentioned that. Out of all of the years my kids have been in daycare, there's only been one guy who's worked in any of them. And I think that's a loss because I think there are a lot of guys who would be excellent at that and are fantastic with kids. Like,
I agree with that.
Can I ask you a question, Ursula?
Yes.
In your lifetime, and you know a lot of people.
I do.
Mm-hmm. How many men do you personally know that have worked in childcare, and they work at a childcare service like this place right here? It's childcare. They bring babies in.
Okay,
just you.
I will say three
out of dozens, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
I don't know any. I don't know any.
But I also have a family of educators, and I know of men. I mean, I have a nephew who is an assistant vice principal who went through the ranks of a school. I count that too but you're talking about
I'm talking about straight up babysitting, child care, and working with the babies.
And a lot of that is just like with nurses, how men are only more recently becoming nurses. I totally hear what you're saying.
I ain't even had nobody say to me, "Hey man, what you going on? Hey man, dog, look, G, listen, bro, I'm trying to get this job. Oh, what you trying to do? Oh man, I'm trying to get on with this daycare, bro."
And what would your response be?
Exactly.
That's the problem.
I think bottom line.
Gee, you have to have representation in order for you to see the possibilities in your life, right? If you never see a male daycare teacher.
I think this just illustrates how you can argue about anything depending on what direction you want to look at it. Gee, ultimately, you are correct. The research shows that you are generally correct. And I think
you ever came in, Ursula? You've been in here 37 years.
Yes.
Tell me about the time that you came in and you saw in the break room or somebody, you saw one guy, he's having problems, and the other guy, he's laying on the other guy's leg and he's patting him, and rubbing his head.
That's a social norm. That's because society rejects that.
No, it's not because society rejects it. Society don't even be there. Men don't handle things like that. Hey, fam, you going through it? Oh, man, your wife didn't let you? Oh, man, come on, let's go have a drink or something. That's what we do.
People would judge.
Yeah, but women, you guys get together and let me hug you and all that kind of stuff. My whole point is women and nurturing.
Okay.
Dog, come lay on my lap, bruh, and let me help you.
Okay, now you're pulling a chef and giving me the most extreme example.
I'm the one who gives extreme examples.
Yeah, that's what I said. She's doing it now.
Nick.
Like going to the break room and having someone stroke their head.
Nick, talk to
Give
your
me a
boy.
break.
Talk to me now. Maybe Gen Z looks at this different.
I think it's pretty even. It depends on the person. Overall, I think women are probably more nurturing.
I give my friends hugs.
Nick, you had somebody lay on your lap and talk to you about their problems?
She's being ridiculous.
I can't go. I can only go back to sitting on Santa's lap. That's the last time.
Text messages, feedback, and they will have Ursula's words to live by. Ursula, cleanse this show. We need to be saged. Gee and Ursula.
celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Touchdown Seahawks! Steve Rabel made the catch.
Number 96, Cortez Kennedy. He was as wide as he was tall, and he was in the backfield terrorizing quarterbacks and throwing them to the ground and wrapping up running backs and throwing them to the ground before they knew what hit them.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
The leaves are changing, and so are the markets. But unlike the trees, your money doesn't grow on its own. Do not let your retirement be the scary part of fall. My friends at Trajan Wealth can take the fear out of financial planning. They are fiduciary advisors. They will create tailored strategies for investors with $500,000 or more, helping you protect what you have earned and grow what you have built. They'll learn your goals, they'll understand your risk tolerance and your own timeline, and then they'll build a plan that actually fits your life. And so while others are carving pumpkins, you'll be carving out peace of mind, which don't we all want peace of mind? Call Trajan Wealth today at 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300, or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Cancer touches us all, and as tough as it is, there's real hope. Right here at UW Medicine, the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and even prevent some of the deadliest cancers. Real people are seeing remarkable results, longer remissions, better quality of life, and get this, patients who received cancer vaccines more than 20 years ago are still alive today. That's powerful. But this life-saving work depends on us. Donations fuel the research, the clinical trials, and the next breakthrough. Safeway is stepping up on your next grocery run. Is simple to give at the register. So join me. Stop by any Safeway and make a donation and help ignite the immune system to end cancer. Every dollar counts, and every action brings hope to family like yours and mine. Together, we can change the story. Learn more at uwcbi.org. That's uwcbi.org.
Announcing the Royal Corgis.
What have you done?
I wired pounds to London to buy Royal Corgis.
You went to the bank to wire money for Royal Corgis?
That means yes.
You are so dumb. Banks are slow and they hide all kinds of fees and transfers.
Those mutts.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. It's faster and never hides fees. Oh, they're fighting, just like the real royal family.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Apollo Plumbing.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Say what?
You're donating service fees.
To Seattle Children's.
All month.
All the way to $20,000.
Right. That's my problem.
Huh?
Your plumbers cleared my drain last month.
Right.
And already replaced my water heater last summer.
And?
Now I have no reason to call Apollo Plumbing.
And yet you are.
I want to help you help Seattle Children's.
But
I don't need a plumber right now.
Oh, so we can't donate your service fee.
Right.
Got a fix for that.
How?
Visit our website.
Because
we have a donation link there.
Helping Seattle Children's?
Helping them provide patient care, support research, and ensure no child in need is ever turned away.
Love that.
Even if you do call Apollo for help, and we donate your services fee.
Could I donate even more?
Exactly. benefiting Seattle Children's Hospital.
All this month.
All their service fees.
All the way to $20,000.
Maybe even more with your help.
That's so Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
It's Gee and Ursula, everybody. What a show it has been. Nikki texted in and said, I swear, I don't know what you guys do to my thinking, but why with that last conversation did I have an image of G being Santa, Chef as an elf.
Man, elf on the shelf. He's taking that personally.
And Ursula as a reindeer.
Huh. Well, today my nose is not red. Tomorrow it might be.
Right. Oh, yeah. Good point.
I'm having some procedures done today.
All right.
And if I come in tomorrow and you don't laugh at me when you see me on video, okay? If you're watching me on YouTube, do not laugh.
Well,
okay.
At least don't comment, right?
Yeah. True. Okay.
What do you got, Ursula?
Well, we had a lot, and does this mean you have News Box closed?
No, it's open.
Okay. So we talked about lowering the blood alcohol level again. There is maybe a new push. We know that our friend, John Lubbock, state senator, is someone who really is a proponent of lowering it from 0.08 to 0.05.
Yeah.
206 says, let's think about legislators, their family members, and friends who have driven under the influence of anything. They rationalize that this infraction against community is just not that bad.
253 says, Gee, I've completely stopped drinking if I know I'm driving. I used to be the one who would say, oh, I can have one or two. Then I would complain about people that would drink and drive. Then I realized I was one of them. I was being a hypocrite. Your opinion on this helped me change my view on this topic. If you're driving, you shouldn't drink. Period.
I love it. 206 says, I would like to see the data on what the alcohol percentage is for those in fatality crashes. It's likely nowhere near the legal limit. Lowering the limit will only increase the number of people convicted of having one beer before driving.
Good.
Likely won't change anything for those who are severely impaired. If you're only having one beer before driving, unless something really horrific happens, it's probably not going to be. It's not that one beer. It's more than one beer.
I mean, if you were talking to your loved one right now and they said to you right now, hey, mom or auntie, like, if I have one drink, should I even drive at all? You'd say no.
No, I'll say I'll pay for your Uber. Oh, and by the way, sweeping statement maybe, but it seems like the younger people are kind of getting this.
Oh, funny you say they are. I just talked to somebody who runs a restaurant downtown. Right now, sales of alcohol has been going down. This new non-drinking culture is real.
On health insurance costs going up big time for ACA plan holders, John in Snohomish County says, my wife and I are both real estate agents, and we get our insurance through the exchange. We're currently paying about $1,400 per month for a plan with a $8,500 deductible for each of us. We just got a new quote for next year's insurance. It'll be around $1,750 per month for the same plan. We are seriously now considering going without insurance next year, and we are both 58. That's criminal. You shouldn't be considering not having insurance.
Yeah. Ursula, you think you got time to read one of these?
On the single dad sleepovers? Yeah. 253 says, I am a single dad who both before and after my divorce coached my daughter's sports teams and tried to make a positive impact on a lot of kids. It broke my heart when having my daughter's friends stay the night at my house suddenly becoming an issue for some families, mostly the ones who didn't know me well. I swallowed my pride and addressed it head on. I invited parents to come over and see my home. One mom even checked out my walk-in closet and bathroom. I also mentioned that I have background checks through my coaching work. It didn't put everyone at ease, but that's my baby girl, and I was willing to try every single time.
Well, good for you, Dad and Coach. That's awesome.
Come lay on my lap, bruh. And let me help you.
Okay, Chef just threw that in.
Yeah.
And that was on an entirely different conversation. And
sure did.
No. I'll just say, Brian. Okay, truck driver Phil, real quick. Not wise for the dad in the first place. He should explain to his daughter it's just not a good look, plus the potential for misunderstandings or even false accusations. Taking them out all for a pizza party or something instead might be a better option.
Ursula, it's time for your words to live by. What you got?
I like this. Honest disagreement is often a good sign of progress.
Yeah, true.
That's actually Mahatma Gandhi. That's a quote.
Good stuff. By the way, if Gandhi was living in the social media age, Gandhi quotes wouldn't be flowing like this.
Oh, no.
Nick, what you got?
Well, I'm impressed with anyone who never takes a day for laying back without a care from work or office play, but I wouldn't be surprised if those who claim to never stop might be faking it from home on their back porch in their flip-flops.
Wasting away again in Margarita.
So kudos to the ones who truly never miss a beat, though I have suspicions if you work from bed with all the sheets. Who knows, though? Maybe some workers need to be more nurtured at home. Whether a man or a woman, it doesn't matter.
Good stuff. All right, Ursula. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
All right. Way to finish off the stroll. You did a great job with the show the rest of the time. It wasn't heavy. It was meaty earlier.
You mean yeah, you don't like it meaty. I said, I like it meaty. I said, but throwing in a little bit of levity.
Tomorrow, let's just have a salad.
Well, okay.
I want some steak.
Thanks, Chef, and thank you for that Edmonds hat. Hey, Nick, appreciate you, brother.
You too, man.
Hey, the Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. We got to go. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
I blew out my flip-flop, stepped on a pop-top.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
Why don't you get your kid off the phone?
you can do that now. No, I'm not there yet. I'm getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Oil investments involve a high degree of uncertainty and are only suitable for accredited investors. Actual results may vary.
Drill, baby, drill. President Trump has declared a national energy emergency and is making the U.S. oil industry a priority with support for our hardworking oil and gas industry. If you are an SEC accredited investor and qualified to make at least a $100,000 investment, you can deduct nearly 100% of your investment for this tax year. Call 800-696-5531 now and connect directly to Encore Energy. Encore is a major investor and experienced horizontal well operator in its core area of operations. Don't wait. The clock is ticking and time is running out for this write-off for 2025. Call Encore Energy now at 800-696-5531 and find out how your investment will be tax deductible for 2025 with the potential for lucrative cash flow for years to come. Call 800-696-5531. That's 800-696-5531.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
KIRO FM and HD1.